I did not just kill a logo, I had to find out who I really was and show it through my new brand. But did I manage to do that? Hello everyone, I'm Chiara and welcome to my YouTube channel Pucci's Hub, where we dive into brand design and more to help you gain the right tools to stand out and succeed in life. Today we're going to craft a visual identity for my brand, but remember, the visual identity system is just the translation of the verbal identity into graphics. So let's see where we left off last time. As I said in the previous video, we shortened first the UVP, so I thought that for a smooth, organized and actually enjoyable process for thoughtful design and an honest guidance could be shrunk into actually enjoyable and honest guidance. We can omit design because it becomes explicit when someone has a look at the services I offer. Because my main brand focuses on graphic design services and consultancy, well then, why did I open a YouTube channel? Well, I wanted to provide people with information about brand design, general graphic design, and any topic I'm passionate about. In other words, I wanted to provide people with what I think are the right tools to stand out from the crowd, communicate efficiently with the world, and eventually to succeed in life. Each of us might have a different vision of success, and this is mine. But because the UVP refers to the brand in general, which is to provide graphic design services and consultancy, then the UVP for my YouTube channel becomes a USP. That is the value the customers obtained, referred to a specific service or product within a brand. So you might have noticed that I changed my business name. Funny story. I hope you don't do the same mistake that I did, because it was very rookie level. So what happened? Well, to understand it, we need to go back in time to December 2020. That's when I opened my Instagram page and I named it Pucci Studio. Beautiful name, attractive for someone who might have had the same name. Nobody popped up. So let's move forward in time to March 2024, last year. That's when I published my portfolio website and I was googling myself to see if I popped up. Haha, funny story. I did not. Instead, this Pucci Studio came up, and I mean, they do everything. They do art direction, branding, visual design, and even product design. But I thought it was okay because my website's aim wasn't to get customers, it was just to attach it to answers to job postings. Now forward in time to March 2025, apparently March is my month now, and what happened is that I opened my YouTube channel that you are on right now. After publishing my first ever real video, I asked a friend of mine to look for my channel on YouTube to see if it popped up. Again, it didn't. Instead, a Pucci Studio popped up, but not by me, but by Luca Pucci, a photographer from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Obrigada. And I needed to decide whether to stay in the loop of explaining to people that I did not grow a beard, nor had I become more interesting. Please go follow Luca, it is really useful and interesting. Or I could change my name, and that's what I did. So welcome to Pucci's Hub. Let's now look finally at the visual identity system of my brand, and not visual identity alone. What is the difference? Well, visual identity refers to any element such as logo, typography, colors, etc. in an unorganized way. Successful brands are consistent in time instead by following the visual identity system, a set of rules that defines the use of the visual identity elements singularly and in groups in specific contexts and spaces. Let's have a look at the color palette. The main one will be the one at the top, while the others will be auxiliary. I chose this color because this is the one I use the most in my designs. I love this color because it conveys calm, but at the same time, color psychology tells us that blue conveys trust. So I'll now show the different colors I chose to represent different topics I'll talk about on YouTube. Let's now talk about the typography palette. Yes, there are a lot of typefaces here, I can see that, but the main one is Graphius, which we'll see later because I chose it as the logo type, that is the display of my full brand name. Two other important typefaces are Gensun and TT Commons Pro, specifically because the former one will be used for printed texts, while the latter will be used for digital ones. The other typefaces are just to accompany videos. Let's now talk about the logo system. To talk about the logo system, we need to first understand the concept behind it. I was exploring some ideas, starting from the term hub, which I associate to a lively space where a lot of activity and creativity happens, as well as sparks of ideas. If we think of an idea as a sudden light that comes into our mind, then we can associate the birth of an idea to a sunrise. And that's basically the concept behind the logo. As you can see, the logo mark represents a circle that is our head with the sun rising beneath it, but also kind of like inside it. What I did here was also to make the sun look like a gear, because that's another association with hub. That is the center of things, if it makes sense. It's not a case that the settings app in our phone has a gear as a symbol. Do you want to see exactly how I designed everything? If you're interested, next video will be about my design process. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Because in this case I created a logo mark and not the logo type only, I wanted to look for one that could match visually the logo mark. So I started to design the YouTube banner, which is an example of the lockup, that is the interlocking of the logo mark with the logo type. After some explorations, I realized that the best solution wasn't balanced at all. I really loved how the logo type with the Grievous typeface looked together with the logo mark, because even that went through an iterative process to make sure that it was visually aligned with the logo type in turn. But again, something was off. So this is the final lockup. The concept is still the same, the birth of an idea. In this case, the sunrise has as the horizon produced hub, because I get ideas really easily. Finally, let's see again our customer touchpoints to see what we need to realize as a product. Okay, business card. This is the final one. Using lockup in the back, while for the front we have the Jensen typeface for the info and suns or gears marking the corners. The business card as well as the lockup on its own can be easily transformed into stickers, as well as they can be printed onto project covers to showcase my brand. For social media, we only use the logo mark because of the limited spaces that the profile icons provide us with, and also because the full name is shown through the typefaces used by the app that we use in turn. YouTube and LinkedIn are a different story. Here we have a beautiful horizontal space that we call banner, in which we can insert the UVP in the case for LinkedIn and the USP referring to YouTube on this platform. This rebranding wasn't just about changing visuals, it was about making sure my brand actually meant something this time. And to be honest, it was worth it. But what about you? Have you ever felt like you needed to start over with your brand? Let's chat in the comments. Thank you for watching. I hope this project was useful to you in one way or another. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!